Power to all people. I want to express myself here on liberation ideology. Ideology is spelled I-D-E-O-L-O-G-Y, I think. A basic definition of ideology is a systematic set of ideals and ideas about a given subject. In this case, liberation. Generally, ideology relates to politics, is political. It deals with the social context of life. There are different kinds of ideologies about liberation. This is my version. Understanding that no one has cornered the market on truth. Actually, I got the concept for this video behind an email from the Network Aztlan news group, where it was mentioned about Chicano liberation ideology. I believe that we need to have an ideology for the people in general. I cannot be constricted to just narrow ethnic, racial, tribal politics, because I understand that we are one family of humanity. I am first and foremost a humane being, though I also identify as a Chicano de Aztlan. So we need to look at achieving global liberation for all people, and that to have it be done in a way where we're united as one people, as one family. You know, now we have internet power, so there should be no excuse for us not being able to communicate with each other. Ideally, we want to have all people have internet connection, but we don't live in an ideal world. So we need to identify who are our enemies and who are our friends. I would say, first of all, our enemy collectively could be considered an evil empire. And any military machines that defend and support them. In class society, and we live in a class society, the two main classes are divided between the haves and the have-nots. The haves are actually minus 1% of the global population. The have-nots are plus 99% of the global population. Occupy Wall Street never got that right. You know, the people are more than just 99%. People are 99% plus. So there's a tiny fraction of the world's population has us all in chains, whether they be actual chains or economic chains, C-H-A-I-N-S. American imperialism is still alive and well. We'll look at the situation in Guam. So there are a lot of events happening right now, and I'm just going to go with the flow in this video, and no one video can cover everything, and I'm not trying to. I'm just expressing myself, and I believe that we should all express ourselves, not be afraid. We are to achieve liberation. We're talking about ownership and control of the land, the institutions thereon, and forces of production. If there's going to be a true liberation movement in the USA and throughout the world, it's going to have to be a kind of matrix, M-A-T-R-I-X, a matrix of different liberation movements struggling in their own different regions with a collective consciousness about global liberation. So we would support people struggling in Turkey and any other country where people are living under oppression and are suffering, and they're striving for liberation. I don't want to just point out one country. Be aware of the global news and see the big picture. Another ideal here is that there's a difference between liberation and revolution. Revolution generally means the violent overthrow of the government. You're talking about a transformation of property relations between the haves and the have-nots. Unless there's a transformation of property relations, so the people seize the state, the people seize the wealth of the ruling class, there has been no revolution. Many of us got confused about the Arab Spring, Tunisia, Egypt, Libya, and we saw revolutions. That was our error in perception. Those were and are thrust towards revolution. There needs to be a transformation of property relations. If the ruling class still controls the wealth of society, there has been no revolution. Look at Egypt. Who really controls Egypt? Right now it seems like the army. How much do the generals make a month in Egypt? Do your own search and research. I believe Egypt is such an awesome country anyway, and its revolutionary movement is awesome. When they get together and the people have a rally, you're talking about millions. So we need to understand, that in general, compared to traditional revolutionary wars, that Egypt has been relatively peaceful, a peaceful revolution, though in a way that's inaccurate because hundreds have died in that process. But as far as having an armed revolutionary vanguard, an armed revolutionary army, and going to a long, protracted war against the established state power, that really hasn't happened in Egypt. The ideal here is to struggle to create a peaceful revolution as much as possible. And so that's why I use the term more liberation. Revolution is the violent overthrow of the established government. It's a felony. It's against the law. So we need to struggle for liberation by any and all means necessary. So it's not a matter of an elite vanguard deciding about armed struggle or violence or what. It's really up to the people, the masses of the people. They are the motive force in human history. The masses of the people are the genius of human history. So only the masses of the people can bring about a true liberation in the land. Only the masses of the people can bring about a relevant revolution. We need to look at revolution as a quantum leap in human evolution. And as I said, at this point we want to exhaust all legal, peaceful methods of struggle. If need be, we need to engage in mass civil disobedience. Understand that the laws of nature override the laws of man. The laws governing loving people, cherishing people, protecting people, those natural laws overcome any fascist regime laws. And we need to continue to support whistleblowers, our brother Edward Snowden, including Assange, and don't forget Bradley Manning, our hero. At the same time, we need to see the big picture of what's going on and understand that pure love is our motivation. That we're motivated by love for the people, not hatred. We're motivated by our awareness, not our anger. We need to be the kind of people that we want the future world to be, if we do not destroy ourselves before then. We are an endangered species. So these are just a few thoughts I have off the top of my mind, from my heart. I'm not here to entertain you. I'm here to share what little education that I have. And the more I learn, the more I realize how vastly ignorant I am of so much. But I've learned a few things. I live in Sacramento, California, and I deal with the here and now of connected reality. I'm not in Syria, I'm not in Egypt. I'm here in Sacramento. So our geographical location on the earth will naturally have a tremendous impact on how we perceive the world that we live in. So other people in other countries with other conditions are going to have a different vision of what's going on. And that's natural. Remember our 5 basic needs: food, clothing, shelter, medical care, and quality education. So all these ideals and ideas collectively can create a liberation ideology. And we need to keep it open-ended. You know, we don't have all the answers. Hell, we don't even have all the questions. So we need to use and develop a liberation ideology so that we know where we're at, we know where we want to go, and we have a basic set of principles that govern our relations with each other, principles that govern our social praxis, principles that govern the matrix of liberation in general. And I'm going to continue to do what little I can in my own little way, and I want you to do what you can wherever you're at. Look around you, love your children, love the people, and love yourself. Namaste.